Mommy, I don't think say I won't become doctor. Oh.
You say wetin? My son, I want you to become a doctor so that people will respect you. No, mommy, I don't like doctor. What do you mean you don't like it? You will become a doctor. But mommy, I don't want to. Okay, you want to be like your father, where nobody they respect for family. Everybody they look down on him. Now so you want your life to be a. Mommy, I want a different career, not a doctor. They not born you well make you no study doctor. If not to collect loan, you must become a doctor. Not be me you go disgrace.
Before we dive into today's story,
Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel.
it truly means a lot to us. Thank you.
My name does not matter yet. What matters is this. Before I could even talk well, my future was already decided. Not by me, by my mother. Let me take you back. My mother married into a small family. My father, his younger brother, and their parents. That was it. My uncle became a big medical doctor in one of the best hospitals in the city. Everybody respected him. They called him doctor before they even called him by his name. My father, he never went far in school. He worked a simple job, quiet, humble, no big titles. And my mother, she never let him forget it. She would compare him to his brother every single day. Why can't you be like your brother? She would ask. People respect him. Nobody respects us. So my mother made a decision. A decision that was not hers to make, but she made it anyway. She decided that I, her only son, would become a medical doctor. Not because I wanted it, not because I even knew what it meant. She decided it for me, before I could decide anything for myself. I remember the day clearly. I was in primary school. My teacher told us to write what we wanted to become when we grew up. Before I could even pick up my pencil, my mother had already answered for me. Write medical doctor, she said. I was just a small boy. I obeyed. I always obeyed. I was the quiet type, the type that never argued, never questioned, so I wrote it down. And just like that, my whole life was decided by someone else. From that day, my mother's whole world became about one thing, making me a doctor. She moved me to an expensive school, one known for producing medical students. She borrowed money, she sold things she loved, she struggled, just so I could have the best books, the best lessons, the best chances. Every time my father tried to speak up, tried to say, "You are putting too much pressure on this boy," my mother would shout him down. She would remind him of his brother. She would remind him that he had no ambition. My father, tired of fighting, would just keep quiet. She even joined a group, a special group of mothers whose children were also studying to become doctors. She was proud to be among them. She wanted to show them that her son too would wear the white coat one day. But nobody in that house ever asked me one simple question. What did I want? Not my mother, not the teachers, not even me, because I never had the courage to ask myself. I just smiled, nodded, and carried a dream that was never truly mine. Little did I know, that silence would almost break me.
Years passed. I grew taller, my books grew heavier, but the dream on my shoulders grew heaviest of all. Every single day was the same. Wake up, study, tutorial centers, more books, more pressure. My mother would remind me almost every morning, "I have sacrificed everything for you. Do not let me down." I did not want to let her down, so I pushed myself. I studied until my eyes hurt. I sat for the big university entrance examination, the one that decides if you can study medicine. I failed. I will never forget that day. My chest felt heavy, like something was sitting on it. But you know the strange part? I was not sad because I failed medicine. I was sad because I failed my mother. She did not see it that way though. She blamed me. She said I was not serious. She said I was wasting her money and her sacrifice. So what did she do? She registered me again. More lessons, more tutorials, more borrowed money. She believed with everything in her that success was just one more try away. I tried again. I failed again. Each failure cut deeper, not because of the exam, but because of the look on my mother's face every single time. Disappointment, shame, like I had stolen something from her. But there was one person in that house who was watching quietly: my father. He noticed things my mother never noticed. He noticed that whenever people talked about medicine, my smile would disappear. He noticed that I never once looked excited about hospitals or sickness or saving lives. He noticed that I was not happy. One evening, after yet another failed exam, my father called me to sit beside him. The house was quiet. My mother had gone out. He looked at me for a long time before he finally spoke. "If nobody forced you," he said slowly, "what would you choose to study?" Nobody had ever asked me that question, not once, in all my years of life. For a moment, I couldn't even speak. My voice was stuck somewhere in my throat. Then slowly, carefully, like opening a box I had locked for years, I told him. I told my father the dream I had hidden deep inside me, a dream completely different from medicine, a dream I never thought I would be allowed to say out loud. My father listened. He did not laugh. He did not scold me. He just smiled, a soft, warm smile, and said, "Then that is what you will study. I will support you, no matter what." For the first time in my life, someone saw me. Not the doctor my mother wanted, just me. But there was one big problem. How were we going to tell my mother?
My father tried. He really tried. He sat my mother down and gently asked her to let me choose my own path. Slowly, quietly, where nobody could see.
Let this boy choose his own path, my wife. Forcing him into medicine is breaking something inside him.
My mother refused. Completely.
You know how many things I don't sacrifice to get him here? How many loan I don't take and all my things where I don't sell?
She reminded him of every sacrifice she had made, every loan, every item she sold, every dream she had carried since the day she got married into that family. She pointed to other families in the neighborhood, families with sons who are doctors, and said,
You know see Mama Kenneth's son? You know see Mama Michael too? You know see your brother? I will never accept anything less for my son.
My father realized that day that words alone would never change her mind. So he made a decision, a risky one, a decision that could either save our family or break it completely. He decided to help me secretly apply for the course I truly wanted, while letting my mother believe I had gained admission into medical school. You see, my mother did not understand how university applications worked. She trusted my father completely with the paperwork, the forms, the process. So, my father quietly used that trust to help me follow my own dream, while my mother celebrated a dream that was never actually happening. When the admission letter came, my mother could not contain herself. She screamed with joy. She danced around the house. She called everyone she knew. "My son got into medical school," she shouted to the neighbors. She joined her group of proud mothers again, this time with her head held high. She told everyone with so much pride that her son was finally going to become a doctor. I watched her celebrate. My heart was heavy and light at the same time. Heavy because I was lying to the woman who raised me. Light because for the first time I was finally free to study what I truly loved. Every day I went to lectures that excited me. I woke up early, not because I was forced to, but because I wanted to. I worked harder than I had ever worked in my entire life, not for my mother this time, but for myself. Years passed. I studied, I grew, I changed. And soon the day came, graduation day. My mother prepared a huge celebration. She invited relatives, she invited neighbors, she invited every single member of her doctor mother's group. She stood proudly in front of everyone and said, "My son is now a doctor." The whole room clapped. Someone in the crowd, one of her closest friends, turned to me with a big smile and asked, "Which area of medicine do you specialize in?" The room went silent, waiting for my answer. I looked at my mother. I looked at my father, and I took a deep breath.
I stood there, in front of everyone. My mother's eyes were shining with pride. My father's eyes were calm, steady, like he already knew this moment would come. I opened my mouth, and slowly, gently, I told the truth. "I never studied medicine," I said. The room went completely silent. You could hear a pin drop. I continued, my voice shaking a little. "For years, I tried to become the doctor my mother dreamed of, but I kept failing again and again, not because I was lazy, but because that dream was never mine." I looked at my father. One day, my father finally asked me what I truly wanted. For the first time in my life, someone wanted to know my own dream. So I told him, and quietly, he helped me follow it. I turned back to the crowd. I studied software engineering, the course I always loved but never had the courage to admit. My mother's smile disappeared instantly. Her hands began to shake. The woman who had spent years planning, sacrificing, dreaming, found out in front of everyone that the dream she had celebrated was never real. She looked at my father, betrayal written all over her face. Then slowly, her legs gave way and she collapsed. The room burst into chaos. People rushed to help her. My father knelt beside her, holding her hand, whispering softly that everything would be okay. When she finally woke up, she would not look at either of us. She felt deceived, betrayed by her own husband and her own son, the two people she trusted the most. For days, she barely spoke. The house once filled with talk of medicine and hospitals became silent, painfully silent. But my father did not give up. Every night he sat with her. He talked to her gently. He reminded her how unhappy I had become chasing her dream. He reminded her how for years she never once asked me what I wanted. Slowly, very slowly, something inside her began to soften. But just when the family seemed to be healing, something happened that none of us expected.
Weeks passed. The silence in our house slowly turned into small conversations. Small conversations turned into long talks late at night. One evening, my mother called me into the sitting room. Her eyes were tired but soft. She held my hand the way she used to when I was a small boy. "I am sorry," she said quietly. "I spent so many years trying to make you live the life I wished your father had lived. I never once asked what you wanted. I was so busy chasing pride, I almost lost my own son." Tears filled her eyes. I held her hand tighter. "I forgive you, Mommy," I said quietly. "I know everything you did came from love. You just forgot to ask me what kind of love I needed." She nodded slowly, wiping her tears. From that day, something changed in our home. My mother started asking me about my work, my software projects, the things I built with my own hands. At first, she did not understand much of it, but she listened. She tried, and that meant everything to me. Months later, I got a big job offer, a wonderful opportunity in a respected tech company. The salary was good, the work was exciting, and for the first time, my mother attended one of my work events, smiling proudly, not because I was a doctor, but because I was happy. She even told her old group of friends, the same doctor mother's group, my son did not become a doctor, he became something even better, himself. People were surprised to hear her say that, but she meant every word. Looking back now, I understand something important. My mother's love was never the problem. Her sacrifices were real, her tears were real. But somewhere along the way, she forgot that a parent's job is not to choose a child's path, but to walk beside them as they find their own. My father, the quiet man nobody respected as much as his brother the doctor, turned out to be the wisest man in that house. He saw me, he listened to me, and he gave me the courage to become who I truly was. Today, our family is whole again, not because I became the doctor she dreamed of, but because she finally let me become the person I was created to be. And if you are watching this story, maybe somewhere out there, you are also carrying a dream that is not truly yours. Maybe it's time to ask yourself the same question my father once asked me. If nobody forced you, what would you truly choose? Thank you for watching. If you are the mother in this story, would you have forgiven your son and husband for the secret they kept, or would it have been too painful to let go? Tell me in the comments. If this story touched your heart, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this one.
Thank you for watching. Goodbye and see you soon.